especially legislators and accounting officers, over corruption in budgetary rackets.
From Ministry of Finance, they are arranged with the accounting officers of ministries to come to Parliament, working with some people there to provide certain funds, provided you take a share. I didn't believe this, but now I have proof.
Information has been circulating that the Police Criminal Investigations Directorate summoned government officials from the Ministry of Finance, the Office of the Prime Minister, some legislators, and some officers from the Office of the Speaker.
Social media summons, that's not the way police summons witnesses for interrogation. I know there is a lot of debate about the recent State of Nation address by His Excellency the President, where he indicated that he had interested himself in some of the dealings at the Ministry of Finance and at Parliament.
Uganda Police has disowned this information, saying there is no such operation by its investigation arm.
Of course, as the police, we want to indicate that we don't have any confirmation about having summoned any Minister of Finance or Parliament officials. We know that investigation is a process. If we get any information that supports the summoning of any witness in this matter that is trending on social media, we shall alert you.
Police have highlighted the different methods under which a suspect can be summoned in a formal procedure for statement recording.
Police summons are visible. When we give summons to people, there are those who have displayed them. There is a very clear, the language is very clear and on headed paper, but not just on social media the way it is. But if you want more information, you can even approach those people who have been named in that social media tweet. Approach them and get statements.
Throughout the day, the premises of the Police Directorate of Criminal Investigations were out of bounds to non-staff with heightened security. Even the media was locked outside. Some contacted ministries and government agencies have denied information about the summoning of their officials, while others have confirmed that some officials were invited for questioning but preferred anonymity. Abdul Nasir Lowama and Venetia Patricia Nandago for UBC.
Now, police have cautioned the public against circulating videos portraying violent actions and criminality. Police spokesperson Fred Enanga says these videos create fear among the public and portray Uganda as an insecure state. This was stated during the police weekly briefing at Naguru.
The surge in the spread of violent videos displaying techniques employed by criminal gangs in robberies has raised fear amongst the public. These videos have unveiled new methods of stealing, such as the round kick attack and rob.
Against the recycling of old videos of violence, attacks and torture, and creating deepfake videos. These acts of spreading false statements and videos of violence attacks, we are aware, are aimed at stoking fear.
Security has come out to warn the public against spreading these violent videos.
We've noticed that there are negative elements who are sharing old videos like the one of 2022, that ride-along attack. I remember we arrested Pancho. I told Luke to share that statement. That ringleader was arrested, and 4 others were charged to court for aggravated robberies.
Police confirm there have been no incidents of round flying kicks over the last 2 weeks. Those videos being spread are non-authentic. Some are old, while others are from different countries, like Ghana.
For instance, after the other last incident of flying kick and grab, we've changed our security posture within the Central Business District, and of course, which has been impactful. For the last 14, 15 days, we've not registered any new such kind of attack.
Meanwhile, police have given an update on the implementation of the presidential directive on sub-county policing.
We need to find out how the implementation of this pilot sub-county policing model is taking place in Masaka and the other districts in Greater Masaka, and then we can give an update on that.
Upon assessing the success of sub-county policing in Greater Masaka, police will seek more resources to expand the system to other policing regions.
Successful implementation of this model is also tagged on the availability of resources, because it involves the deployment of massive manpower and logistical resources for it to effectively succeed.
In Kampala Metropolitan Policing Operations, police apprehended 2 suspects, one Kiseka Bahati and Bugaya Edwin, for mobile money robbery in the Bwebajia. It is alleged these 2 attacked Mbadiremo Maria, a mobile money dealer, and robbed her of 2.5 million shillings.
We managed to recover the unmarked pistol, which we established that Chiseka smuggled into the country from South Sudan, where he was working. We managed to recover, in addition to the unmarked pistol, we recovered 1.5 million, a black jumper, a hood, face masks. When we recovered their phones, we got to supporting messages about the conspiracy to rob Mbadiremo Maria. And so we are happy that Maria really made good use of the police counter numbers. The system works very well.
In Isingiro district, a son stabbed his father to death during a quarrel. The father, by name Patrick, from Kabatamba village, is said to have been killed by his son, David Asimwe. Abdu Nasser Lovama and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
To the courts of law now, where the High Court Criminal Division has sentenced Mulinzi Birali to 12 years imprisonment after he pleaded guilty to attacking and robbing her worship Gladys Kamasanyu of 1.85 million Ugandan shillings. Meanwhile, the same court has also sentenced John Magombe to 7 years in prison after he was found guilty of possessing human body parts while working as a witch doctor.
Mulinzi Birali, aged 28 years, pleaded guilty to the aggravated robbery of her worship Gladys Kamasanyu, in which he stole 1.58 million Ugandan shillings and other belongings. Along with his co-accused Kabega Robert and others still at large, Mulinzi Birali also robbed her worship Gladys Kamasanyu of her judicial identification card, a bunch of keys, an ATM card, an iPhone Pro Max phone worth 4 million Ugandan shillings, and other items. He appeared before Judge Margaret Mutonyi at High Court Criminal Division in Kampala. The offences were committed on 17th July 2021 at Mbogo Road, Kibuli in Machinde Division, Kampala District, at the Green Hill Academy Gate in Kibuli. After pleading guilty, Judge Margaret Mutonyi sentenced Mulinzi Birali to 12 years in prison.
So the accused is convicted on his own plea of guilty of the offence of aggravated robbery as charged.
Since his co-accused Kabega Robert pleaded not guilty to the alleged offences, the court continued with the hearing of the case. with Magistrate Gladys Kamasanyu being the first witness. Mulinzi Bilali was remanded to Ruzila Government Prison to serve his sentence. Meanwhile, the High Court Criminal Division in Kampala has sentenced John Magombe to 7 years imprisonment after he pleaded guilty to possessing human body parts in his shrine.
This kind of conduct should not be encouraged because it encourages human sacrifice. It therefore calls for a deterrent sentence to both the convict and others out there who engage in witchcraft.
John Magombe witch doctor was found with human body parts, including 2 skulls and bones, which he used in his herbal medicine. During the hearing of the case, John Magombe changed his plea from not guilty to guilty. In sentencing him, Judge Margaret Muton stated that the acts committed by John Magombe could encourage the commission of similar offences by others, setting a bad example.
Such conduct is not only satanic but also primitive and should have no room in modern society and a country with Christian values like Uganda. You are free to appeal against this sentence within 14 days from today.
Judge Margaret Mutoni also emphasized that since Uganda is a God-fearing country, such acts can't be tolerated.
In the New Testament, Jesus, the Son of God himself, used his saliva and soil to heal the blind man. No human body part was used. In our rich African culture, traditional healers use herbs to treat people.
According to court records, John Magombe claimed to have unknowingly obtained the human body parts from his fellow witch doctor. He was sent to Ruzila Government Prison to serve his sentence. Prosecution was represented by Chomugisha Barbara, and Counsel Sheila Chiwumulo represented John Magombe. John Magombe pleaded guilty through the pre-bargaining process. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
To Hoima now, where the Omkama of Bunyoro Kingdom, Dr. Solomon Gafabusa Iguru, has attended the 30th Mpango or Coronation Commemoration Church service after missing the same prayers last year. The Omkama was accompanied by the Omugo Margaret Karunga Adieri, his Prime Minister Andrew Byakutaga, and members of the royal family.
The Omukama has so far missed 4 consecutive Mpango celebrations due to ill health. His last performance of Mpango rituals was in 2019. Mpango rituals are performed every year 11th June, the day he was enthroned. Iguru first performed these rituals on 11th June 1994 when he ascended the throne, and since then it has been an annual event. During the church service, the kingdom premier, delivering a speech on behalf of the kingdom, urged subjects to work hard to improve their household incomes and restore the kingdom's glory. He also highlighted achievements attained by the current administration during Iguru's 30 years reign. Bishop Samuel Kahuma Boli of Bunyoro Kitara Diocese, who presided over the Thanksgiving service, urged the people of Bunyoro to love and support their kingdom. Bishop Kauma thanked the government for the improved infrastructure, including paved roads, an airport, and one of the proposed stadiums that will host AFCON in 2027. The chairperson of the Royal Commission, Dr. Fred Kalisa, who also serves as a senior presidential advisor on oil and gas and minerals, called for unity, emphasizing that there is no development that can take place when the people are divided. The RDC Kikube Amlan Tumusime and the communications officer of the National Drug Authority, Fred Kabuye, congratulated the Omukama for his achievements and steering the kingdom in the right direction.
As the National Drug Authority, we congratulate His Royal Majesty on reaching his 30th anniversary and wish him all the best in all his endeavors as he serves the people of Bunyoro.
Nyonzima George and Charity Marion Imnat, UBC News.
Now, State Minister for Primary Education, Dr. Joyce Moriku Kaduchu, has called upon young Ugandans to love their country and Africa as general as a fundamental move for peace. According to Moriku, many Ugandans in the past sacrificed their lives in a bid to achieve the peace being experienced today. This message was conveyed during the commissioning of Patriot students from 5 secondary schools in Moyo district.
During commissioning of over 3,000 patriots in Moyo district, Joyce Moriku challenged the students to adopt a mindset towards peaceful coexistence in schools, which will eventually contribute to national peace in Uganda and across Africa.
We move from very far through a lot of turbulence, a lot of valleys, a lot of rocks, to the stage where we have stabilized as a country to have such a stable country in terms of peace, stability, and security. We are here because there are people who have sacrificed their lives for all of us to be what we are today. Those are our heroes. That is why you have been taught the history of Uganda. We stood to have the principle of patriotic, principle of Pan-Africanism, principle of democracy, and socio-economic transformation. Those are the key fundamental principles that has put the country in a very stable situation.
Patriotism determines the quality of citizens a country can have, remarked Moyo Resident District Commissioner Gore Goffin, urging students to envision the future of Uganda.
The president is very passionate about the quality of citizens we need to have in this country. There must be citizens who understand the desire and the dream of what Uganda should be. And we are fighting to ensure that every citizen participates in the development of Uganda. And I strongly believe that these students, they are going to take their studies very serious. I want to ask you, our patriots today, desist from behaviors that will make you lose your life very soon. HIV/AIDS is still around.
The need to nurture patriotic Ugandans is an initiative of the NRM government through the National Secretariat for Patriotic Corps established by President Yoweri Museveni in 2009. This initiative coordinates patriotism clubs in all post-primary schools and institutions across the country. Joseph Odama, UBC News.
Now, police in Ruizi region is investigating circumstances under which the water source situated in Imbogo village, Kanoni in Kazo district, was contaminated with poison. The water source belongs to Hope Ruakajara, whose animals and fish have died as a result of the poison introduced by unknown individuals.
A 45-year-old lady in Kazo district, identified as Hope Rakajara, is in tears after unknown individuals poisoned her fish ponds and a well from which her animals drink, resulting in the death of all the fish and 2 cows. Rakajara alleges that in March this year, some people from Umbogo village in Kazo district cut down all her banana plantations in an attempt to grab her land. She has now called upon top government leadership to intervene in this matter.
Polisi yone yakazone bimanya tenkarebere muntu wena kunyamba mbweni nshaba government mu nyambe ahabo kubo bwiro bumazara hamwanyogu nebibanya hansi jireho nyonta tenyine businje bwoni.
The chairperson LC5 Kazo, Reverend Mogesha Samuel, condemned the act.
The plantation was cut because we learned about it, and it was reported at the police. The police went there. They are investigating that case. When you look at the structures, then you get convinced that this land belonged to the Mbogo community.
The police spokesperson for Rizi Region, Samson Kasasira, condemned the act and stated that the police is carrying out investigations.
I was able to take samples of the water so that tests can be done, and we ascertain exactly what is wrong with the water. But as for now, we understand the said land where these water sources were allegedly poisoned is also in dispute between one Keti Nyakajara.
Mary Namkose, Nelson Akatorira, UBC News.
National Unity Platform, NUP, President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has inaugurated the party's leadership school at its headquarters in Kamwokya. Now, the school aims to inculcate the party ideology among the undereducated graduates, and a third group focused on training NOP leaders.
The National Unity Platform has inaugurated a leadership school aimed at inspiring its members.
1, 0. Here we have started in the school. You will participate, Mr. President.
Comprehensively, and it's a participatory class, that it is a transfer of information from one person to another through a given medium, and we are going to expand on that, and then you blessed us with your presence.
The National Unity Platform President Robert Kyagulanyi highlighted that the training will be conducted in native languages to ensure better understanding and inclusivity.
Whoever goes through this school will be able to confidently stand up in any crowd and be an ambassador and representation of what we believe in as the National Unity Platform in their local language. I hope that this idea that we're launching today will go beyond Kamwokya and will go beyond Kampala.
Kyagulanyi mentioned that the party aspires to equip current and future leaders with diverse knowledge beyond the national context.
As a school, it is a testament of hope, a place where our present and future leaders will be prepared, shaped, and refined. We want to equip our leaders with the knowledge and skills that would help them through the struggle for change, and also to empower them and enable them with the skills to transform Uganda.
The Secretary General, David Lewis Lubongoya, encouraged all those interested in gaining political training to join the school.
Who have not had a lot of formal education, but they are very, very important in our struggle. These are the people you call foot soldiers and all that. And that is the first class which we went to, that is level 1. And they will be educated in different aspects, including getting different skills, understanding the political history of Uganda, the justness of our cause, and those kinds of things.
The leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, urged the party members and others to learn alongside their peers without discrimination.
Still alive, and you're still active, especially involved in the kind of work that we are doing. You have got to keep learning and unlearning and relearning. So that's what the NUP School of Leadership is going to be doing. We shall be learning, we shall be unlearning, and we shall be relearning. And all of us are candidates for learning, just like all of us are candidates to teach.
The school will offer training in a variety of subjects, including human rights, to prepare its students comprehensively for leadership roles. Jamil Sekaja compiled this report.
Now, Ugandan film producer Alan Manzi is an award-winning filmmaker known for his work on a Ugandan local series called Junior's Drama Club. Now, our reporter spoke with Alan Manzi about the state of the Ugandan film industry. Take a watch.
JBC Season 2, Episode 28, Scene 6, Alpha Take 1.
For filmmaker Alan Manzi, It's not just about making his kids' show Junior's Drama Club. It's also about making sure his child actors are well taken care of and have a life outside of work.
Our students, the kids who are studying they're acting with us, they're between the ages of 6 to 12 years old. However, when you look at the results at the end of there, you didn't know that they were shooting a TV series the entire year because their grades are not affected. So those are things I'm really proud of.
The show follows the life of 6 children who join a drama club that changes their lives. One of the kids here is 12-year-old Tyra Abok, whose stage name on JDC is Queen.
What?
She describes her acting journey so far as amazing, and the young actress has big dreams.
I feel like acting is a way for me to tell my story to the world, and my biggest dream is to hopefully get an Oscar for acting in an original Ugandan film. I don't need to sabotage you.
Another young actress here is 11-year-old Anisha Mugaga, who acts as Malika.
JDC has been a very good experience for me. I have learned how to sing, have learned more acting skills, and they have taught me nice manners.
Nisha Kalema is a writer and a producer at JDC. She says it's easy working at JDC, especially with Manzi.
In 2020, it was just an idea me and Manzi had, but when we sat down, we realized that it can become something big for not just us as another show we had on our CVs, but for the country as well.
Manzi says the success of JDC is just one example of how the film industry in Uganda has become big business. Hundreds of people as filmmakers like himself, actors and other creatives.
The industry is going through this metamorphosis where from 5 series a year or 4 series a year being shot in Uganda, we now have 25 series being shot concurrently.
So you've been watching cartoons.
Manzi says he believes the journey for Uganda's film success has just begun and believes Ugandan movies will soon begin showing up all over the world. Jackson Vunganyi, VOA News.
We'll now take a short break and we'll return with the latest in business.
Sigikira mulimo gwenkola gukanikira abakasitoma bukawa sobuni kimba n'obwire obukutwala sente isomero ati nkyo amukolesa enkola ya MTN mobile money ni migasita 1065 star 8 nintekamu kodi namba y'omwana genda sente ninsasola ku lungi ntaino kuterimanizwa koni katunga esimu kuruga mu MTN bantereire okubanza ntakikirize nkaba amanyire bali bafere hanyuma nagenda nakakuza MTN yao nagamba ntungire simu eno kuluga mu MTN kyamazima okuba nkaba ntamanyire nti aliyo promotion hanyuma madam akola MTN yangambira kyamazima kubasima muno mwebale muno akasente kabaire kenja kusasula school fees tamwe kujja bakasasuire akandi nja kasasulira mu bagenzi baye abatabandi mwebale muno.
Together we're unstoppable. Gold. We all want it. That soft yellow glow of a subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Let's have a look now at the latest in business. The Assistant Commissioner, Private Schools and Institutions, George Mutekanga, wants students in technical and vocational education institutions supported as a way of addressing unemployment. Mutekanga was representing the Ministry of Education and Sports at the signing ceremony of a memorandum of understanding between Hannan Mechanical and Electrical Polytechnic and the Luyanzi Institute of Technology in Weyogerere, Wakiso District.
Assistant Commissioner, Private Schools and Institutions at the Ministry of Education and Sports, George Mutekanga, says that there is need to extend study grants to students in all science training institutions.
But the fund has only been being restricted to only university graduates and university-going students. But now, can we look at other technical institutions that provide not only universities, but considering also technical subjects?
Mutekanga asked Chinese through Hannan Mechanical and Electrical Polytechnic to facilitate technicians to contribute to environment protection.
Can we introduce mechanical motor vehicles, motorbikes that use electricity? What does it require for us to introduce this? And what does it need? So our planners in the Ministry of Education, in the Ministry of Planning, Economic Planning and Finance, we need to think towards that line. We know we have a lot of oil reserves in our country, but oil reserves, we are fighting with the pollution.
The Hunan Mechanical and Electrical Polytechnic Memorandum of Understanding with the Luyanzi Institute of Technology is aimed at ensuring improvement of technical and vocational education training in Uganda.
So, this MOU is going to see a number of student and teacher exchange programs. It is going to see a number of improved technical training through those exchanges. But also we are going to encourage online training.
这次来乌干达，我们学校希望与当地院校和企业进行职业教育。
Today, I'm here on behalf of the college, Hunan Mechanical and Electrical Polytechnic, in the hope of entering into TVET cooperation programs with local institutes and enterprises, especially now with Luyanzi Institute, for a better future.
The chairman, Uganda-China Friendship Association and proprietor of Luyanzi Institute of Technology, Engineer Ayub Soma, says government should waive taxes on the importation of skilling programs equipment.
Some of these tools, facilities that are bought by these tertiary institutions and even secondary schools, like computers, like projectors, like many teaching screens, all be waived of taxes, because we will not be able to talk about technical and vocational training when some of these educational materials are still taxed.
Engineer Ayub says many Ugandans need mindset change on technical and vocational education training.
I call upon government and the Ugandans to embrace the technical and vocational education training, because it is the only way we will be able to address the issue of unemployment.
The Minister Counselor at the Embassy of the People's Republic of China to Uganda, Fan Shui-cheng, and a cross-section of the academia and diplomatic community witnessed the ceremony.
We have to join hands to ensure sustainable development and to provide Ugandan young people with a positive perspective. Supporting sustainable development is not only an act of solidarity, it's an investment.
Abiona Francisco, UBC.
Now, insurance company operators have been urged to ensure honesty and integrity in their services to citizens. Now, this message was delivered by David Okello Opio, the Executive Director of ICEA, at a dinner celebrating the company's 25 years of operations in Uganda.
People around the world face challenges that lead to the loss of properties and assets, putting them at risk. However, numerous insurance companies have emerged over time, enabling people to insure their investments, properties, and assets to mitigate these challenges. The insurance company of East Africa, IKEA Lion, is a prime example of a financial services provider addressing risk management. During the function celebrating IKEA Lion's Silver Jubilee, the company's achievements in serving Ugandans were highlighted.
And that has created the security for
the public, with the financial services, a journey that has grown in tandem with the insurance industry, the milestones that have contributed to various aspects of de-risking the economy. We've seen significant changes, we've seen significant growth just by the presence of ICA Lion.
Beyond financial services and risk management, IKEA has given back to communities through various activities, particularly in the areas of environment and education.
We are running a lot of projects. We have one particular project on the environment specifically where we intend to plant 1 million trees, and all these trees will be planted in partnership with primary schools all across the country. And we want to hit two birds with one stone. One, inculcate a culture in the young children of looking after the environment very well.
Partners praised IKEA Alliance cooperative relationships, which have facilitated business growth.
We are working towards sensitizing, and when I speak from a broker perspective, our role as insurance brokers is to make sure that clients understand the insurance policies they are buying, they understand the terms and conditions, and they also understand when to claim. So the role of a broker is to walk the journey with this client.
Speaking to the gathering, IKEA Alliance director, who retired after 18 years of service, David Okello Opio, recalled the close relationship between Mulwana and President Museveni, who paved the way for his career.
Said, now I have some offer for you. Said, what offers are these? Said, there are 3 positions that are falling vacant soon, and I want you to take all those 3 positions. I said, which ones are they? So he mentioned them. The Insurance Company of East Africa on the board, the Private Sector Foundation, he had just started the advisory council wing, wanted me to be part of that board. And then the Standard Chartered Bank, where he was chairman of the board.
Okello urged insurance operators to prioritize honesty and integrity while serving customers.
And if a very decision is made and is not sure what has been done, what has been, which have been made, and if it comes to a court case or to parliament, whatever, he will be in trouble. So he needed to decide whether to continue doing so or to be a proper member. So he started learning. By the time he left, I think he knew quite something there.
The celebrations were attended by IKEA Alliance managers, directors, employees, and members from other countries where the company operates. Ivan Juko, Moshamiro, UBC News.
So the next
Welcome back. Now let's move further afield and we go to India, where the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is heading a coalition government as he begins a 3rd term in office. His dependence on regional allies has raised questions about how effectively he will be able to pursue the transnational changes he promised ahead of the elections.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is only the 2nd Indian leader to secure a 3rd term. But he returns with a diminished mandate. With his party losing its majority in parliament, he heads a coalition government and will need wider agreement with his alliance partners.
A majority is essential to run the country. That's the essence of democracy. But to run a country, consensus is also essential.
That consensus with regional allies poses challenges for an assertive leader who ruled with an absolute majority for a decade.
His style of functioning has been take quick decisions, go into an issue, give a timeline for it to be implemented. It's not into consulting, scores of people, taking them along in that decision-making process. So that will require a new approach.
At election rallies, Modi had said he had prepared a 100-day plan to pursue big targets. Now questions are being raised about how much he can achieve. Analysts say he will be able to carry his allies along in pursuing reforms to spur manufacturing and investment needed to grow India's economy. The country's push to build closer ties with neighboring countries and the United States while retaining relations with Russia also has broad consensus.
Big decisions on the economic front, opening up certain sectors, to FDI, he may not confront much of a resistance there. Whether it's on the foreign policy front, he may take the allies along, and he may well take the opposition along also.
But his party's Hindu nationalist agenda could take a backseat. His main allies belong to secular parties and do not share the BJP's Hindu-first ideology. Analysts also point out that the inauguration of a grand Hindu temple in Ayodhya in January failed to yield dividends. His party lost the seat where the temple is located.
The verdict of 2024 is in fact a kind of rejection of extreme Hindu nationalistic policies. It did not actually become an electoral issue that people did not really vote for the BJP because they had got the temple constructed.
In a country where opposition parties have raised concerns of democratic backsliding under Modi, he will also need to build consensus with the re-energized opposition that has gained ground. Analysts say it remains to be seen how Modi, who critics have called authoritarian, adapts to India's new political landscape.
Mr. Modi will have to reinvent himself if he wants this government to continue and last its full term without any major political upheavals.
How Modi navigates his third term will define the legacy of a leader who has towered over India in the last decade. Anjana Pasricha, VOA News, New Delhi.
To Sudan now, where displaced residents of Sudan's El Fasher said the Rapid Support Forces continues attacking hospitals and camps, while non-profits call on the international community to pay more attention to the Northeast African nation amid ongoing fighting between the army and the paramilitary group. Take a watch.
El Fasher, the capital city of North Darfur State, was supposed to be safe. About 800,000 people displaced by fighting and alleged ethnic cleansing in the surrounding Darfur countryside have fled here hoping to find refuge. But since mid-April, El Fasher too has become a war zone. Refugee camps have been caught in the crossfire and even shelled as the Sudanese military battles the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces for control of the city. More than 1,200 have been killed, says Doctors Without Borders. From inside El Fasher, Adam Rojal, a spokesperson for a local non-profit helping Darfur's displaced, told VOA that people here don't care about the warring sides. They just want the fighting to stop.
They are not patriots because they're fighting for their own interests. The only loser is the society of Sudan, especially the people in Darfur. People have lost everything, even the basic needs of human life like food, water, shelter, and medicine. Words can't describe how serious this crisis is.
Claire Nicolette works with the non-profit Doctors Without Borders, which operates medical facilities in El Fasher. She said one of its maternity wards was shelled, as well as the main surgical hospital.
The roof fall down on babies that were inside the hospital, and we had to close down after the death of these two children. Surgical hospital, I can say, which is receiving all the wounded at the moment, has been touched 4 times now in 10 days.
Nicolette said calls from the UN, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken and other members of the international community to end the fighting in El Fasher have gone unheeded. She says the situation is only getting worse and that the violence is indiscriminate.
We hear about drones now, we hear about snipers, so we just see that the situation is just deteriorating over and over. It's kind of full war inside the city, so unfortunately there is no protection of civilians, no protection of health structures whatsoever. That's the reality.
Rojal says the fighting has prevented people from leaving the city and aid groups from delivering food to the starving within its borders.
In reality, most families live in dire conditions, myself included, because we don't get our share of the World Food Program aid due to the poor security conditions and the blockade.
Every day, he has been desperately sending pictures of malnourished children in El Fasher to the international press to try to get the world's attention. Non-profits have complained about the unusually low donations for the Sudan crisis, in part because of the Ukraine and Gaza wars, while human rights groups have criticised the UN and African Union for not doing enough. Meanwhile, El Fasher continues to be ripped apart. Henry Wilkins, VOA News.
Stay fresh. You wanna come preach and be my girl. Lighting. Lighting. I did make a lighting up.
Sports news now, and we begin with woodball, where Uganda Woodball Federation has launched the 14th edition of the Junior Woodball Championship. The championship, whose action is due this weekend in Luengo, is proudly sponsored by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda. John Barnes Sentamo reports.
All roads for urgent followers of woodball this weekend will lead to Luengo for the 14th Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda Junior Woodball Championship. The championship, to be hosted by St. Mary's Kitoro Primary School with Philip Foundation Secondary School as the co-host, has been launched.
Call upon corporates in Uganda to copy what ISPAO has done, the exercise of corporate social responsibility. Because the true performance of organizations should be seen in how much these organizations can give back to society.
Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda that have remained steadfast in the 14-year history of the championship have sunk 25 million shillings into the 2024 edition.
The Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, we are not in business of making money. We are in growing talent in the field of accountancy, and combining that with the field of sports, we are glad. Thank you so much.
The championship will enter a record number of teams, including Shekinah Glory International School Umbale, Iganga Secondary School, and St. Henry's College Kitovu. At last year's championship in Injeru, this year's host St. Mary's Kitoro Primary School Luengo won the boys category, while Wukalabi Primary School bettered all in the girls section.
It is an eye-opener. This is the first national event that Rengo District has hosted in all the sports disciplines that we play in Uganda. So that one is an achievement. 3, ICPAU coming to Rengo District, you have heard. They are finding a way how they can partner with our schools to give career guidance.
In this championship, where competition is in the youth and junior categories, Air Force Senior Secondary School bested the secondary category last year in boys, while Mpoma School edged all in the girls category.
And finally, to chess, where Uganda Chess Federation has launched its national league that is expected to pawn off on the 14th of July 2024.
Premier Bet, who are the sponsors of the National Chess League, have upped the stakes after increasing the league winners' purse from 3.5 million shillings to 10 million Uganda shillings.
We are promising a true celebration of the chess excellence in Uganda and across Africa. With teams from the ladies, the disabled, and the men. We are promising more and more to come from Premier Bet. So this partnership that we have over the years is going to continue growing over and over again.
The league that starts next month is uniquely set with 6 playing boards and will include women, juniors, and people with disabilities.
We use the league to hone the skills of the ladies and to increase participation. So apart from just gender balance, there's also an aspect of gender equality, where the ladies can field all girl teams throughout and they participate. But board 6 is specifically for the ladies to empower the females in the country to continue playing. This league is also going to feature board 5. Board 5 is exclusively for players who are under 16.
The league is expected to attract participants from the neighboring countries like South Sudan and Kenya.
The league powered by Premier Bet doesn't just stop at people winning prizes like you've heard of the 10 million first prize. There's also an element of inclusivity. So the differently abled, the veterans, and so many others are coming up. We also have a team that has expressed interest to join. That is a team from the refugee camp in Bweyale.
Kideka Chess Club are the reigning champions but will face stiff competition from more than 40 other clubs. Meanwhile, Uganda Chess Federation is celebrating a major milestone following recognition of Peak Primary School by Chess World Governing Body FIDE.
We participated in the nationals of last year, which we actually won, and got a chance to represent Uganda at the world level in Kazakhstan. It was a team of 5 girls, and they did us proud there as well. So the National Chess League, we are having a number of teams that participate. We have 5 that affiliated with Great Thing at Chess Academy, because we treasure it. We know how good it is to our children. So that's why we're having actually an edge over the others. So the team that participated in Kazakhstan gets the experience from here.
This FIDE School Award, which is received for contribution towards growth of the sport, is the first by any African institution. Peak Primary School will be decorated on the occasion of the Chess Olympiad in Hungary later this year.
And that story brings us to the end of this second edition and final edition of News Tonight, this Monday, the 10th day of June 2024, here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it has been Elizabeth Nakakoni, and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Living a safe life is your right and responsibility in our communities.
They should have an eye checkup once a year.
First activity that we conduct is getting these young girls or women from the danger that they are facing and